Hello, everyone. Good morning from Bangladesh. I'm Rezuan Chowdhury. I'm the PYP coordinator at Smart Innovation School. I'm in education sector from last 14 years plus. And also I'm working as a workshop leader for many schools. I also worked as a consultant for different schools, Cambridge schools, Ivy schools. And and I'm also a researcher. Five of my articles have been published in US, Mexico, UK, Malaysia, and the Maldives. And I love to teach students. Also, I love to um, develop the teachers so that they can take better classes in the school. So that's all about me. Today, I'll be talking about assessment, a tool for learning and growth. And yeah, so that's all about me. Here is my email address. If you have any questions that you want to reach me out, you can send me your questions and all those things. So now I'm going to talk about what are the four objectives of this session. The first one is understand the concept of assessment as a tool for learning and growth within the IBPYP framework, and also explore strategies to make assessment engaging, authentic, and reflective of student agency. Identifying the different types of assessment, formative, summative, and their roles in the learning process. Design assessment tasks that promote critical thinking, inquiry, and concept-based understanding. So these are the four basic objectives of today's session. So let's start with ice-breaking session. So what is the first word that comes to your mind when you hear assessment? What comes to your mind when you hear the word assessment? It can be reporting, it can be any assessment tool like anecdotal records, rubric, checklist, understanding the level of students, their reflections. So these are the words that comes in our mind when we hear assessment, okay? Right? So here is one quote: assessment is not about marking, right? So nowadays in modern teaching, we are not marking the students' performance. It's about understanding the learning and which level they are in. So this is the things we need to judge that which level they are, and based on their level of understanding, we have to take some actions that they can go to the next level, right? So our objective is not only about marking their performance, is about to know which level they are in. So what is assessment in PYP? Assessment is the process of gathering and analyzing information to improve students' learning and information and informing teaching. Right? So there are different types of assessment. One can be the knowledge assessment, what we can say pre-assessment, right? It says basically prior knowledge assessment, what the students already know about the concept of topic. Formative assessment, which is ongoing feedback based to the students, right? And then summative, end of the unit, we take summative assessment of the students, right? But formative can be for any subjects areas. So what is the purpose of assessments? The first one is understand what students know, understand, and can do. So this can be the first objective of or first purpose of assessment. Guide teaching strategies and differentiated learning. So in the classroom, we cannot expect that every learners are in the same. If we think about MI, multiple intelligence, there are different types of learning styles. Someone is auditory learner, someone is a visual learner, someone is kinesthetic learner. So we have to categorize our assessment according to their level of understanding, their ability, and their interest. Understanding, we have to design our assessment in such a way so that they feel, you know, um, they feel their choices, they can complete the work according to their choice. Okay, and now teaching few days on the concept of division, they need to find out um, what level they are in the division concept, and they need to write few sentences that what they know about division, how they have learned division, and where they want to see themselves in which categories of divisions, different types of divisions, and they need to share if they even did not
Mr. Rezuan,
understand the
sorry to
concept, they
disturb you,
feel.
sir. Sorry to I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but we are not able to hear anything. I think the signal is very weak for you. It's
Yeah,
lagging very badly, the voice. It's lagging. So is there any better way?
just give me 1 second.
Sorry to interrupt you. So now the
I
signal
think it's okay. Better.
it's showing red, sir. It's showing red again. Yeah, yellow, red, and white. It's flickering kind of. Maybe we can try now.
Okay.
Please continue, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. So what I was saying, that the students need to set their goal as well for future, for the next term, can be for the next semester, can be for the next unit. Subject-wise, the students need to set their goals, right? For maths, what they need to learn in the next semester, next unit. For English, for science, social studies, whatever the subjects they have, they need to set goal for each of the subjects so that they know that where they're going to reach at the end of the academic year. Okay, which helps them to set their goals. If they set their goals beginning or in the middle of the academic year, which helps them for the future when they move to the next next grade. Characteristics of effective assessment. So there are some basic characteristics that assessment should have. The first one is authentic. The assessment should be authentic. It should be very transparent. Should be student-centered. Teachers need to give feedback after the assessment of the students. It should be continuous. That it should not be only surprise test. It should be continuous observation of the teachers, need to write down the anecdotal records of the students' performances, need to deal with the students, those are not understanding their, understanding the concept or topic, need to need to sit with the students one-to-one, and need to drive in conceptual teaching students so that the students, they feel confident about the concept the teacher has taught the classroom. Strategies that can work. The first can be the exit ticket with thinking routine. So what are the thinking routine? Like, it is mostly the thick questions, the open-ended questions. Like, I used to know about 3-year. Now I think about 3-year. For example, we're teaching students 3-year in grade 2. So the students first, as a teacher, I'm going to discuss about what is 3-year, and then I may play a video about 3-year, or maybe I'm going to give a reading materials about 3-year to the students. So, first they're going to write down what the students used to think about 3-year, and now what they think about 3-year. So, comparing studying. Then the self and peer assessment rubric, the student need to assess themselves, and also, for example, the student and their friends and all the students are preparing projects in a group or pair. They need to check and they need to assess their friends' performance about preparing the projects or presenting the project about 3 years, for example, in the classroom. So, assessing myself, also assessing my friends' performances and their organizing the projects is also matters. It is also one kind of learning, that how we teach to the students to to assess themselves and also assess their friends in a constructive way, in constructive feedback. Then reflections journals with learner profile attributes. For example, this can be a quick checklist based tasks, and the students going to quickly check, either they understood the learner profile stuffs. Then the teacher can use the traffic light signals, the green, yellow, and red. If it is green, the student will write down, I get the topic, or I understood the topic. A yellow, I'm still confused about the topic, and red, I need really help from the teacher to guide me. So, for example, once as a teacher, I teach any concept in, for example, in maths, fraction concept to the students. Before I move to the new concept, maybe number pattern, I need to ask to the students, they're going to write down in a small sticky notes, either they understood the concept or not. So they can use the green light, they can draw a green light and say, I get it. If the students did not understand the concept of fraction, so they can draw a yellow light and say, I'm unsure, or I'm still confused, or something like that. And also another open-ended question like see, think, wonder. So for example, you are showing some of the artifacts about anything, any concept, the students going to say that what they have seen, the artifacts, what they think about artifacts, and what they're wondering about. So this is the one, another open-ended question or think questions. So one question for all the audience, how do you involve students in designing or reflecting on assessment? So when you design any assessment, how do you involve the students in terms of their agency, their choice, voice, ownership? Do you involve the learners when you design any assessment? This is one question for you. Student agency and assessment. So what are the things in the student agency and assessment? The students need to, that I described in previous slides. The student need to set their goals. So they need to be a goal setters. They need to assess themselves, either they understood the concept or not. There need to be a reflector. They need to share if they are confused about anything. So which exit card or traffic light signal can help them. To give feedback to the peers. It also helps the students to have their choice, voice, ownership. If you have these criteria in the assessment, that means the student have the agency in the assessment. Okay, so type in the chat that one way you give voice or choice in assessment. If you what you think about, you can write in the chat box or in the comment section, that how give you choice voice to the students during the assessment. Tools and tag that can be interactive session for the students when you take the assessment. You can use the Padlet, which is really help the students. This is my favorite one. When you take the formative assessment, you can use the Padlet for getting the reflection from the students. You can use the short quizzes from the Kahoot or quizzes kind of apps, which also very popular in the students community. They really like it because they can see their scores and all those things in the quizzes and Kahoot. Flip also a verbal reflection where the student going to give their or reflection to the students. Google form where you can have open-ended question and close-ended questions and give and share the link of the Google form to the students, where then you can get the responses as well. You can use the Jamboard, the Google Workplace Jamboard link to the students, and they can write the reflections after the assessment. Or for using the self-assessment or peer assessment, also you can use these tools. So I'm going to talk about how I ask my teachers when they designing any assessment. I always says to use the differentiated teaching, differentiated assessment strategies, and also need to incorporate with the multiple intelligence. So as we know, there are different multiple intelligence like kinesthetic, interpersonal, personal, auditory, visuals, naturalistic, linguistics. All those are the different types of learning styles, right? And maybe you cannot cater all the learning styles, but 3 to 4 learning style you can choose, and you can design our assessment in different choices. The student, those are kinesthetic, they love to do the project work. Students are those are they love to read books or reading materials. You can have a case study for the linguistics learners. Students are those are visual learners. You can have a playing a video about the concept, and after watching the video you can give some open-ended question, close-ended question to the students, and they can reflect their understanding. So incorporate multiple intelligence in the assessment is a great way. As a teacher, we should give this kind of choices to the students when you assessing the students on different concepts. So would you like to share your experience in the comment section, discuss how MI, multiple intelligence, could be applied in your classroom to assess students creatively, right? So you can answer this question in the comment section. So differentiated assessment based on MI. So for example, the human body, habitats and ecosystem forces, motions, life cycles, environmental awareness. So how are you going to design those any assessment based on any concept, any one concept from here? You can write in the comment section. As a teacher, how you can incorporate with the multiple intelligence and design any formative assessment or summative assessment based on this selected topics. Here is one example that I have created. Basically, it is about water cycle. So let's think about it is for grade 2 students or grade 1 students. So you can see that I designed 6 different types of tasks, and the students can choose anyone to complete it. I focus on the visual, I focused on the linguistics, logicals, interpersonal, musical, and kinesthetic. So I choose 6 different learning styles, and based on 6 different learning styles, I have designed tasks as well. So the students, those are kinesthetic, they're going to choose automatically the kinesthetic tasks. You don't have to say you are a kinesthetic learner, you choose the kinesthetic. They will choose according to their interest and their ability to complete the work. Okay. So yeah, so that's all about the assessment. If you have any question, you can ask me.
Thank you, Mr. Rezuan. Yeah. So sorry, sir. If you have a couple of minutes, then I can ask you some questions. I have received a couple of questions from the educators. Unfortunately, they couldn't join the question session, but they have sent me a couple of questions. So let me know like how many questions you can take, because you have another appointment as you have mentioned.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with 2 to 3 questions.
Sure, great. So, sir, first question is, what role do you think technology should play in assessment and feedback?
Yeah, as I said, that there are different types of assessment tools like Padlet, Jambo. Those are really helpful for the students, and they love to give the reflections after the assessments about the performance, about the concept, what level they are. So, and these apps are really popular in the students community to write down the reflections. They can make their own videos and upload in the Padlet, and they can even write an article about their experience and the journey of formative or summative assessment, and they can upload over there.
Okay. So in your 14 years of experience, as you mentioned in the introductory part of yourself, can you share any examples or case studies of successful assessment practices in your career?
The students, nowadays in modern teaching, the teachers, they need to be very, very creative. For example, I'm a teacher of grade 3. all kind of formative assessment should not be look same, and then students should not get any pattern that the sir is preparing this kind of assessment. So different types of learning styles you can use it. You can have even a interview session. The students can prepare the questions. Nowadays the students doesn't want to prepare questions, so you can have such kind of assessment system where the students need to prepare questions. They will going to take the interviews on surveys. They will go to field trip, and after come back from the field trip, they need to write down a report writing, the procedure writing of their experience in the field trip. That can be one kind of assessment, because this is basically connected to the naturalistic multiple intelligence learning style. Sometimes the students really like it when they go outside of the school and observe something, and then they write a report about it. So I think if we understand the proper theory of methodology of multiple intelligence, it's really helpful for the teachers to be more creative.
Great. So as an audience, I have one question. So what are some common challenges teachers face when implementing assessment for learning?
It is a good question. The teachers need to, the first thing the teacher need to understand each of the learners level of understanding. If teacher can assume it, it's helpful for the teachers to prepare different learning different assessment papers. As a teacher, I cannot expect that the one particular assessment task I can cover the whole grade students, right? Because in the grade, there are different learning levels. Someone are very advanced, someone are average, and some of the students, they may face struggling. So when you design any formative or summative assessment, always you have to think of different level of students' performance, and your tasks should be also based on their, otherwise they will be frustrated. So I, as a teacher, I don't want like that.
So what role do you think artificial intelligence and machine learning might play in assessment and feedback, sir? This is the AI
As
era.
a teacher?
Yes, sir.
So yeah,
Embracing the
this
AI
can be a
now.
blessing. You can use different types of AI for generating ideas, but you cannot, like, it is against the it is again the against of principles, ethics. AI is blessing, but we cannot copy and paste. We can add our own ideas and creativeness when you design the assessment. You can generate ideas. You can get a lot of creative things, but as a teacher, I need to, AI doesn't know the level of my students' interest and their ability. I know as a teacher, so I can generate ideas, but all the ideas may not fit it for all the students. So I have to share, add values when design the tasks for the students during assessment.
Human touch is very essential. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So that's all for the Q&A session, sir. And I really appreciate your time, and apologies one more time for logging in a little late. Thank
No
you for the talk and for patiently answering all the questions. We also thank the educators who have sent their questions on my WhatsApp. Before I end the session, sir, would you want to mention anything else?
No, miss. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm really grateful.
It's a pleasure, sir. Thank you. I'll end the session now.